I have no idea if this is working, if anybody's here, or how this works. Oh, wow, someone joined. Okay. Let me know, the people that are here, if you could see me and hear me. We'll start in a minute. Hey, all right, so I'm trying to figure out this thing. So I see someone here. You can hear me, you can see me, great. Let me see if I can get YouTube going. Are you guys getting any sort of let me know if you guys can so I saw some comments on LinkedIn that seem to be working. Give me like one more minute. Okay. I'll give everybody like 2-3 minutes, and then I will hopefully people are here. I'll start presenting. And move this over to a different screen. I have no idea what I'm doing here. That looks really bad. Let me know if the screen I'm sharing is working at all. Okay, that doesn't look very good to me. I apologize about the technical difficulties. I am going to stop sharing and then present again and see if that works better. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start in about half a minute. Okay, let me just check. Okay, people can hear me. People could join in later. Hopefully this works. I don't know how to share the link on these other platforms. Maybe it was a mistake to try to do fancy streaming right now, but here goes nothing. So let me move StreamYard to in front of me so I can kind of see what's going on. All right, so setting up AutoGPT. So in the past, bear in mind, everybody, I'm not a developer, I'm not a software engineer. I don't know anything. This was the prompt I used originally, which is I wrote, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I want to run the following program on my MacBook. I have a terminal open, but I have no idea what to do or how to do anything to install it. And I copied and pasted content from the GitHub thing on the on AutoGPT. So now going back to this, there's a few things that happened in the last few days. So I'm just going to do these. So the first step is going to the GitHub profile, this link, and starting to read the instructions here. So the first thing it tells me is I want the stable release, which is going to be in that tab. And then it tells me I want, I guess there's a whole bunch of other steps and information, including how to set it up. And they set up a website with documentation on another site. So over here. So first thing it tells me is to choose an environment to run AutoGPT in, and pick one. It's recommending Docker or VS Code plus dev container. Now, I have no idea what these containers are exactly. I think they just make it secure what you're doing, so, or whatnot. I tried to set up Docker on my computer, but I got stumped a little bit, but we will attempt to see what we need to do. But in the meantime, you could still install it by going to terminal and navigating to the folder where it's going to be in. Or I've downloaded Visual Code Editor, or Visual Studio Code, which a different AutoGPT prompt told me to do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up a new chat, and I'm going to switch to the GPT-4 model because it's just much better. I'm using AIPRM. This is a Chrome extension that overlays prompts, and what I'll probably use, actually, I might use this public one. OpenAI actually wrote a prompt in here, right here. I assume this is them. So this is kind of what the prompt looks like. So it kind of tells it to think through instructions very carefully. These prompts are typically going to be very good. And so we're going to use that prompt and see how that does for us. Now, bear in mind, I have no idea what's going to happen here. I haven't done this before, and it obviously doesn't know anything about ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab setup, and I am going to, I guess I have to choose one of these setups. So let's choose, all right, let's attempt Docker. I think I have it set up on my computer. And if not, we'll see what happens. So I am now going to ask ChatGPT to help me. I want to install AutoGPT and have it running. It recommends using Docker. I have a MacBook Pro with Apple chip. That's important because when I went to the Docker website, it looks like there's a version of it that doesn't work with the Apple chip. And then I am going to copy and paste the code and say, please give me step-by-step instructions for installing this. Bear in mind, I am a complete newbie. Let's see how it does with this. So the first thing it's telling me to do is to download Docker. And I am going to see if I can open Docker and see how that does as a step one. And I apologize if it opens it elsewhere. And if anybody in the chat wants to help out along the way, feel free to do it. I did not see it open. If I don't see it open, I'm just going to move on to do this elsewhere. But I have, so I have Visual Studio Code here as an IDE, and let's see what I can do with this. All right, so first it wants me to go into my terminal. All right, please give me copy and paste instructions for step 2 and onward, including the code. So again, I'm asking it for help. Now I'm going to have to be a little smarter because we don't have the, we have a limit of how many GPT-4 requests we can make. So I'm going to copy this code. And I'm going to see if I could do this in here. And all right, it wants me to, I guess I'll just open the terminal and see what it does. And for all I know, I need to do something special. So I open the terminal, I copied that code, hit enter, and it says file exists. Okay, let's see what happens when I attempt to do this. So this made the directory and this opens it, I guess. So I think it just opened it. And I have no idea what's in there. So let's just pull this. And so again, I copy and pasted that code and I'm in the terminal. Once again, you can also just open up a terminal on a computer, or you can ask, ChatGPT, what is a terminal or how does it work? What it's doing right now, I believe. Oh, interesting. So people are saying they don't see my terminal. Let me see if I could figure out how to do that. Okay, so I was in a window. Now I'm doing an entire screen, and I apologize about that. If you guys can see my terminal here, can you guys see it now? Okay, perfect. So I'll try to make it a drop bigger. But here we have a terminal. Up here is the code make directory. Here's the code open the directory. It already existed. And now it just installed the latest version of AutoGPT, I hope, from that place. So now we're going to want to see what the next step is. Next step is to compose this file. So I copied that and I'm just gonna hit paste. Let's see what this does. It doesn't look like it did anything. But it may have. I have no idea what I'm doing, so forgive me. I think we want to open this AutoGPT folder. Oh, there we go. So I told it to make a file Docker compose, and it did it. So now it wants me to open Docker compose in a text editor and paste the following contents and save. So I'm copying this and going back into the terminal. I'm in the file now. I'm pasting it in here and I am going to hit Control S for save. Now The next step is create necessary configuration file. So I'm going to copy that code. I'm going to go back to the terminal, if I can figure out how to do it. I guess I need some help to figure out how the heck to get back to the terminal. Okay, we're back in the terminal. Let's try this. And it just looks like it created these files here. I assume that's in the right place. Hopefully it wasn't supposed to be inside that Docker Compose folder. But next up, let's copy this code. I'm assuming that there's some things we're missing here, but so here, down here, it looks like it's, I guess, installing a bunch of stuff. It says ready to accept connections. I'm assuming I need to populate a whole bunch of information, but I want to do a couple things. First thing is I want to get this release 3.0. Okay, so have me do this. Okay, so what we posted into ChatGPT had other instructions we have to follow. So I'm going back to GitHub and the setup page. So we created this file. Now create the necessary configuration files. Let's find out what that is. Okay, so now we need to download the source code from the latest thing. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT how to do it. I hope this isn't the wrong, oh no, it's both. Let me just make sure I got this. I'm used to my PC, okay. So we're going to ChatGPT right now, and we are going to just paste this because we have no idea. Oh, no, copied the wrong thing. And let's get this going. So I need to extract it into the AutoGPT folder. So let me see if I can figure out how to do it. We have it right here. I have no idea how to do this. So let me see if it give me code to download and unzip it in the folder. We're going to attempt to do this and see if that works. We have to replace version tag with the actual version tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this URL just because why not? And I'm going to say, here is the correct URL. Please update the code so I can copy and paste it. Let's see how this does. All right, so we're in the terminal. It says ready to accept connections. I don't want to break anything. All right, let's try it. We'll see what happens. Doesn't appear like it did anything. So we're in the Docker compose file, I think. Okay. So it's telling me, oh, got it. All right, perfect. So it wants me to open a new terminal window. And copy and paste the code there. Okay, now we got some sort of message. It's not downloaded or it was the wrong code. Let's attempt that one last time. So it's got the wrong file name, I think, which is strange. Let me try something. So this is just me guessing. If I change this unzip dash auto dash GPT dash v 0.3.0.zip. No, we have that there. And then I do again the same thing here. And again, I have no idea how to move around the terminal, so forgive me. So I've got auto-GPT dash v 0.3.0.zip. And then let's enter. Nope, that didn't solve it. So I'm just going to copy all of this and say I got this error. I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to open a new terminal. We're already in the AutoGPT folder, so that's the thing that's confusing me here. But let's see what happens. We're still getting that same error. Now it's giving me a new updated code. Let's see how this does. If it doesn't work, I'll go ahead and download it and move it in. You know what? For argument's sake, let's open a brand new terminal just because, hey. Okay, so now it's giving me error after error. Here's what I'm going to do. I have this folder already. I'm going to move it if I can, or copy. I don't know if I could drag things into a terminal, but let me try one thing. Give me a second. What I'm going to do is, all right, let's get this back up and this back up. And let's go ahead and let's search for the AutoGPT folder. I don't know if this is the one we're working in or not. Let's see what we see here. Now it's all capital AutoGPT. I have no idea where we are, but oh, I know where we are. Okay. I'm going to try something else. Let's see if this works. Does anybody know if these things are case sensitive? Okay. I'm going to attempt to do this locally because I can't seem to figure it out in this Visual Studio Code. So we've got a regular terminal. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to search file, open folder. We have a folder. Oh, well, here's the AutoGPT folder. Maybe there's a reason why it can't download because of Docker or something like that. But what it seems like we have to add our API keys to these files. So I'm just going to find those files naturally on the computer because this is how I got it working last time. So I downloaded the entire AutoGPT, and right here, I've got it fully extracted. And so we are going to see if we can figure out how to open this file path. Here, this is the one that we're working in. Okay. All right. I'll hopefully stop it earlier, but here we go. I'll hit reopening container. Hopefully that doesn't break anything. Sorry if this isn't really getting us to a place of what needs to happen. And it could be that someone's telling me, I see it from LinkedIn, that there may have been a hallucination there with that link. So it may have actually, even though I gave it a link, it may have recreated a bad link. But we just opened this whole thing here. And we're going to follow the instructions. And just, we hit a bump. Okay, we need a file. Find the file .env.template in the main AutoGPT folder. And that is right here. Okay. So we're making progress. So now I need to plug in some keys. I am going to stop sharing my screen while I plug in these keys because I have no idea how to kind of block it out. And I will come back in 1 minute with that stuff ready to go. So I have to think I have a lot of this already. Yep, okay. So I am right now copying and pasting API keys into this file, and I will be back in a minute when we are ready to go. So I just added in an open API key. Now I'm adding in a Hugging Face one. Now I'm adding in Pinecone. And you'll have to create these accounts. If you don't have to use these things, but I think it's a good idea. Okay, so my Pinecone API key is now in. And now I also have Twilio set up in here. Oh, this is for something else. Okay, that's good enough for now. So I've got that set up. Now it wants me to create a copy and call it Oh, I didn't create a copy, so I'm hit Control V. So I already made a mistake. I should have, I'm gonna rename this. Give me a moment to figure out how to rename it. File, save as, just .env. Okay. Next up, okay, I'm supposed to save it and close it. Okay, my API key is fixed. It's set up in there. I'm not using Azure, so I could skip that. I'm gonna go back to present. And let's see. I think we're ready to run it. But let's find out. Let's try this and see what happens. Okay, we're not, probably not in Docker. Maybe we have to get into Docker Compose. Let's see if I see that here. Here. Now we're in Docker Compose. I guess Docker has to install in here too. Maybe that was the issue earlier. Let's see what happens now. Still no command. I think it's downloading still. Let's get back into the Docker Compose. Okay, let's assume that we don't have that running, and let's see if we could get it to run. Let's try this, see what happens. So now it's installing everything that's needed to run AutoGPT. And I think we're actually about to get it to work. So whoever did join, thanks for joining. I know a lot of people left because this has just been a struggle. I should have had things more lined up. But the point is, I'm not a developer and I'm getting to a place where I'm going to be able to run this. And lo and behold, we have AutoGPT ready to go. Let's be the upgrade this. So we'll do that in a minute. Okay, oh, it's already asked me what I want to do. I am going to quickly shoot a message that we got it working. I'm just forwarding the link again in case anybody, I thought I was. Okay, now we're here. So let's ask ChatGPT what I want it to do. I want it to compile a list of all the estimated settlement payouts for Camp Lejeune lawsuits organized. Oops, did I just hit enter? Wow, it created, you see what's happening here? So I typed something and I didn't even finish typing. And I guess I hit enter, but here's what it did. It created a title, an autonomous agent to specialize in legal research. And now it thinks through the goals. So first it has to do research on all the Camp Lejeune lawsuits, compile a list of estimated settlement payouts. Now, a lot of these tasks are not what I would have it do. And it's trying to use Redis memory, but I only set up Pinecone. So there's more settings I probably need to figure out and set up here. Bear in mind, I've never tried to set up 3.0 before. And now it basically, where it got is it's basically saying, it's asking me for permission to search on Google Camp Lejeune settlement payouts. And I'm going to hit Y-5, which is basically saying the next 5 tasks that it wants to do, just automatically do it. And what it's going to do is it's going to think through, oh, so we're running into a problem where I only have a 3.5 API key, and this is looking for GPT-4. So we'll see if it figures out how to resolve it on its own. And it looks like it's going to struggle. So we might have to might have to read up a little bit on configuration. So I need to go into this fast LLM model deployment ID. Let's see if I could just pass this directly in input. And by the way, I have no idea how to stop this, but I wonder if I can open up a new terminal in parallel. Nope. All right, let's go back here. We want to try to tell it to use GPT-3 only. All right, so I mean, there's some set of things I have to do, but what you can see here is I give it a task and it thinks through it. It turns into goals. And then it can do all sorts of stuff. So I'll just show you guys in another, I have this, a few other, I guess, because I set this up previously, didn't know what I was doing. So these are outputs from AutoGPT in the past. It created these files. Like I asked it, go find me the best ways to make money, and then actually do it and do things that you can actually execute on your own. So it ran some Google searches and it created a list of things to do. And then I said it needs to be most effective. So it broke it down into ways to make money. And then it said, well, maybe we should start a legal directory. And it started doing research. I looked into what are ways to monetize the website. And, I asked it to do some keyword research around ERC companies. It didn't do a great job with that. But, oh, something's happening in there. Let's find out. All right, it's thinking. So let's see what it does. So it's finding all these errors, but then tries to resolve it itself. So literally just asked it to open up the directory and get a list of files in there. Oh, and ran the Google search and it found content. There's different URLs it opened. It's gonna run to a problem because I think it's trying to use Redis and I didn't change it to use Pinecone. But let's see what happens over the next couple of tasks. All right, well, streaming clearly had its hitches the first time. And it seems to be figuring something out. See, it's literally, it's looking for a file, it creates files, so everything you guys saw me attempt to do with setting this up in the first place on my computer, in theory, this can think through the problem and build on it. It's now asking me for an input, and I am going to, let's try to get something that actually works well. So I'm going to exit. So lowercase n. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to figure out where the settings are that I missed to make sure that we can do the things we need to do. Now, this looks like it's a setup for Azure, but I set up in my prior version. So maybe it's a good idea for me to attempt to trying to figure out how to minimize this. Let me attempt to open my original AutoGPT install. And I have no idea how to update these things, but I believe it was this one. And let's find out. Yeah, so you see all these files I created. So now this one, the way I initiate it, I think I'm supposed to do this. Python 3 -m space AutoGPT. Nope. Maybe I need to be, maybe because I'm in dev container. Anybody know what's wrong with that code? Okay, so there's some sort of error, I guess, in this version. Let's try that again, see if it works. So this is my first AutoGPT thing. Let's see if I can find the other one. Here we go. It could be I'm in the wrong folder, but let's try this in the terminal. I want to be in the folder. Now let's try to, nope. I don't think I'm in the folder. Okay, well, let's go back to this other session here. No, where was it? Yeah, so clearly I don't know what I'm doing here, but if I can get if I get this working, let's see, file, open folder. We were in here. I think this is where we were last time. So now I need to figure out how to run it again. How do I run it? See if that works. Nope. Anybody remember how I got it to run last time? I was in So clearly I need to learn about containers. Oh, here's how we did it. Run without Docker. Okay. We're good to go. All right, AutoGPT is initiated. It's asking if I want to continue the last one. I do not. No. Anybody want to share an idea? I thought I hit no, but I guess I hit slash and it's running. Okay. Trying to get to the commands and stuff, but let's go back to the support stuff to see. This is really the main reason I wanted to talk about this is AutoGPT released plugins. And I see this as a massive opportunity. So it's capable of retrieving Twitter posts and posting. It can interact with your emails. That's interesting. So it can use a news API. You can search all of those. So all of those things are capabilities. And then here's all these other plugins built on top of it. Notion, Telegram, Google Analytics, YouTube, Mastodon. I have no idea what this is. Instagram. You could trade crypto through Alpaca. So how's this? If this thing works, you could literally tell it, let's see if we can get it to do it. All right, N. Okay. Okay. Okay, here's what I wanted to do. Trade stocks on paper and make money. Your job is to turn $1,000 into the most money possible. Let's see how that does. So identify goals, analyze market trends, identify profitable trades based on your risk tolerance and investment goals, monitor portfolio, provide real-time alerts, execute trades, etc. It's interesting if anybody wants to know how memory works. I think what it does is you basically, so this is built with a vector embedding model, and that same model is available through OpenAI's thing called, I think it's ADA. And so essentially what you do is you would take a database of your data and you would embed it through the ADA model and then save it in a Pinecone database. And then that would go ahead and you would save it into a Pinecone database. And then the next time you run a search, it's going to search the Pinecone database with the vector embeddings, find the nearest neighbor, which is the model it uses. And then it's going to plug that into your prompt. So GPT-4, GPT 3.5, you could use that kind of, it's still going to generate based on that. So it could still hallucinate or give you bad information, but in theory, it should be much more correct. So, but in theory, this can, save so there's different kinds of memory because it's zero shot. So they're taking the information from its search in Pinecone, and then it's putting it into your prompt. You have to worry about like token count. So if you have a back and forth conversation, let's say with 20 messages back and forth, it has to decide, do I just retrieve the entire historical conversation, or do I summarize parts of the conversation, or do I retrieve the last like 6 messages plus, a summary of the prior conversation? So those are the different kinds of memory that this uses. But ultimately, the question is, how do you get to a place where each new request that has context from the past requests without running out of tokens? Once GPT-4 with 32,000 tokens is open, this is going to be a much smaller problem. But today, I think you're capped at 8,000 or 4,000. There's much less you could do with that kind of memory. So it's asking me for permission right now. And I think I'm just going to tell it I only have GPT 3.5 because it was looking for GPT-4 over here. And what it does is essentially it thinks through the problem. So I'll show you guys here. If we take this chat here, do a new chat, let's use the same prompt that we were using, which was the OpenAI prompt programming assistant. Look how it thinks through the problem before doing anything. So I'm just going to say I want an app that coaches me through running programs from GitHub without any knowledge or background about software engineering. And you see, first the pseudocode. So it kind of thinks through what are the steps we're going to have to do. And then it creates code. Over here we are. So I'm going to give this another why. Here, you know what? This was an interesting idea to have it try to do stocks, but that might get a little frustrating. See, it figured out a plan. Use 3B5 to delegate simple tasks, right? So let's do, Y dash, let's give it 3 in a row. And bear in mind, you could probably give it 50 or 100 or continuous, and it will just automatically, like literally when I opened up that other like workspace folder, it every single thing in here, it decided one of the ways to make money was to sell images. So it literally created images. So I could literally tell it, go build me a website, and it will create the prompts, go to DALL-E or Midjourney or whatever it's connected to, create the images, post it there, like, and these plugins that you can build right now that they opened up, in my mind, is probably one of the biggest opportunities for a brand, because there's not that many plugins here. If I wrote a plugin right now for whatever I'm doing, my brand, my company, my product, my service, customized to my industry, like there's no reason, like there's no competition yet. And AutoGPT is not the only autonomous agent, but see, right now, this is just a news search using a news API, but why is it choosing this API? Like, there's a gazillion things you could do with this. You just have to build the plugins, and then it knows, like it should figure out to run a search for, okay, what plugins do I have access to? Again, this might not be installed. That might be a different issue. And I don't know if I want to trust this without knowing who the person is that built it. So I probably have to install all these things within my AutoGPT account or folder and add my own API keys for it to actually do it. That's pretty cool. So I don't know if there's much more to show here, to be honest, except for like literally all these things. Like I had it write me ads. Didn't do a good job, but that's because I have 3.5. But what I asked it to do here, for what it's worth, is I asked it to create me a conquesting campaign. Go find me all the competitors for ERC and build me a keyword set of those companies. Put those brands in a CSV file. See, it didn't do a good job. It's got like the IRS in half these links, but and then from that, build out ads that I can run. It needed to figure out how do I find all the competitors, so it created a keyword list, and it was going to cycle through each of these on Google. Anyway, I'm going to work on setting up this much better on my side, but I'm going to end this live stream in a minute. Or, you know, honestly, I actually don't mind sitting here. If people are interested in watching, that's fine. But what I'm going to figure out is how the heck do I get 3.0 working on my computer? If anybody here is a software engineer, if not, I'll use ChatGPT. If I had this installed on my computer, 2.1, and I want to upgrade to a new version, but like I have all these settings from the prior one in place, what's the best way to kind of set that up? And, you know, maybe this is a question for a new chat, and I'm not going to use a prompt here. I'm just going to go straight into here and say, let's see, give me a moment. I want to update a So you see, I'm like literally just talking out exactly what I need to do, and maybe too many requests might confuse it. And then I want, so I said I want to update a software I downloaded on my MacBook Pro, but don't know how to update the older files. I'm also confused about using Docker. Can you explain to me exactly what I need to do to get the settings from the old version to the new one, and how to use Docker in VS Code? Obviously, I want a secure setup. So what I'm going to do also is grab something Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to give it some of the instructions I had. Here are some of the instructions. Let's see if it helps me. In the meantime, it's ready for more tasks. So let's get out of this task. Anybody want to give me another task to try to do? Um, all right, well, it seems like people kind of wrapped up. So let's, I guess we'll end this here. And when I figure this out, I'll try to record, and hopefully people can access that.